This
always.
episode's the bullshit episode.
Bullshit episode. We could have a bullshit episode.
I think whatever the viewers want, as I'm grabbing my microphone, Goofy, whatever the viewers want, they can have. You know what I want someday?
What?
I want people to draw fan art of us.
Aww.
Like,
I'd poop my pants if somebody drew us fan art.
Fan art. Because I really want, like I was saying last episode, 10 minutes ago.
By the way, we're doing a double episode. These are done on the same day.
I was saying, like, I want people to imagine what my living room looks like. And I just want to see what they come up with. I'm going to go grab a Mountain Dew out of my fridge real quick.
You probably should. Gotta do the do. Do you have... We got...
I got Baja Blast. I got water.
You got Baja Blast?
Baja.
I've never had Baja Blast.
Wait, seriously? You had Taco Bell?
No, actually, no, I haven't.
Bitch.
Is it it better than actual Mountain Dew?
I don't know.
You don't... Oh,
I go through phases.
Savannah. Oh, okay. I thought you grabbed me one, and I'm all like, why did you...
Yeah, I'm like, try it.
I'm all like,
see
I
if
don't
you
know.
like it. And then...
She just handed me a can.
What do you think?
Wait.
Oh,
No, it's actually pretty good. I like that.
Do you want a can?
Can I grab myself a Baja Blast?
Yeah, this one if you want.
What? Oh, that makes actually a fucking whole lot of... Here, let me just give you the one that I started drinking out of like a fucking asshole. What I should have done is asked to give you one. Thanks for being my friend, even though I don't make any sense.
No, you're good. Just a little.
Yeah.
ASMR.
I love it. What does that even stand for?
Ass suck my
Cool,
rectum.
you don't get it either. I like it. I know what it is, but I don't know how to like...
Audio stimulant. That's what I would guess. Let me...
Music. The microphone like this, and she's like, I'm gonna cut your hair now. And I'm like, I felt really fucking attacked in my sleep.
It's free real estate.
What the... It's what?
It's free real estate.
Fuck, did you hear that?
It's Tim and Eric.
Do they do an ASMR?
American Society of Mechanical Engineers.
That is not what the fuck it stands for.
Oh my god, I accidentally typed in IE in my phone.
IE.
What the fuck is ASMR? Oh, I typed AAMR.
Oh my god, Savannah.
It stands for Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response.
I would have never guessed that in my whole life.
Me neither. It's defined as a euphoric experience characterized by static-like or tingling sensation on the skin that typically begins on the scalp and moves down the back of the neck and upper spine. Give the relaxations. I never experienced that though.
I feel relaxed, but I don't feel like that relaxed. Like I like the Jeffree Star ASMR.
I actually have never watched those, but I should.
Have you listened to any?
In like meme compilations, but they always
like
change
you should
the
like
end.
actually like the one I downloaded an app like just to like try it, and it was a girl like she was like, welcome to my salon, I'm gonna be cutting your hair now. And I'm like, at first I'm like, I'm going to bed, like I don't know if I like this, and then I'm like, I can't, but it plays on a loop, so she like tells me how she's cutting my hair every fucking 10 seconds, and I'm like,
Stop.
I'm like, I get it.
I have an idea. April Fools. Let's do an episode where we only whisper.
I'd shit like 10. It'd be the 20-minute episode because it's as far as I can go.
Well,
I'm a loud person. Like I don't like to whisper.
I know, that's why you have that microphone, because there's less bleed with that one.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is that why I get this one every time? Are you fucking serious?
I'm dead serious. You're louder. You're louder than me. As your voice is gonna get louder, you're louder than me, Chloe. It's a fact.
As I'm fucking screaming.
As you're like, are you serious?
I didn't fucking know I was being like somewhat censored because I fucking scream.
No, Chloe. No. So my mic.
I get it. It makes sense.
So if our roles were reversed, your voice would bleed into my mic too much. So this one doesn't have as much bleed where yours does, and I'm not loud enough to make that one do a
That
weird
makes
thing.
sense. That makes sense.
So we're good.
We complement each other. You're softer and I'm a fucking monster.
I go through phases when I'm really loud. I don't know.
I don't know that I've ever like had a moment where you're loud. Like you get like split seconds where you get like
Or I do like a wow, like something like that.
I love when you do that though, because it's like very situational. Like you're in the moment. Oh, I feel like we should probably mention that we never found Lyda Southard's grave.
Nope, we didn't.
That cemetery is a fucking disaster.
I actually kept it out of the second podcast episode because when we were like, we should go look at it, I don't want to be like, oh, turns out we never fucking found it.
Yeah. Did you keep that out?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, so then cut this out because either way,
but if anyone
though,
knows where it is,
send us a fucking picture
Send us a fucking
because it's
picture.
hard to figure it out.
send us your selfies with a grave.
It's hard because she's just in the. I mean, she's literally in the ground, but we couldn't find her. Nope. Rest in peace. Anyways,
Listener stories.
we didn't even introduce ourselves like nib knobs.
My name is Savannah.
My name is Chloe, and we're two best buds.
We
Yeah.
are potatoes.
I look like a fucking potato.
Bitch, you look cute.
But shit. Shit, dog.
All right, so this is the listener episode. If you would like to submit any of your creepy bullshit to our podcast, you can email twobestspuds@gmail.com.
Yep, that's the one. Or we have a Facebook, Two Best
Yeah.
Buds Podcast.
Yes.
And then, or you can direct message our Instagram
Yes, we
and
keep
our Twitter
those.
that we never use, but we have it set up.
Yeah, I just Twitter's so hard.
I
feel
just
like.
forget that it is a social media platform.
I update it, but that's
Do
all I
you?
do. Yeah.
I suck, man. Noise.
So I got the Twitters, and we both take care of the Instagram pretty good. And then it seems like you've been doing the Facebook, so
Yeah.
we got this.
I like Facebook. I'm on Facebook as soon as I wake up. That's my whole thing. It's my diary, pretty much. Well, not my diary. It's like my virtual, like everyone else's diary, so I can see what everybody else is going through. But yeah,
their dirty laundry.
send us your stories because we want them. Like,
Yes, of
we don't have
course.
to mention your name. We just want to know. Like, we can leave all names out. Can be confidential.
If you want to give us a fake name, we'll call you that,
We'll call you
Mr. Buttlicker.
Oh my god, I was not gonna go there. Buttlicker, our prices have never been lower.
I just watched that episode of The Office.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. I think that's
Oh.
why my head immediately went to Buttlicker.
Mr. Buttlicker?
Mr. Buttlicker.
Seriously, is that what your name? How dare you?
How dare you? You know what? I like the sound of your voice, Michael. I'm going to buy $1 million worth of paper products today.
And he just gets fucking stoked on it too. He's like, oh my god, yes.
On one condition. You have to fire Dwight. He's like,
You have to fire that salesman.
that treated me so horribly. It's $1 million sale.
He's like, Michael, you can't do that.
You want to go first on the listener episode?
We could just go like back and forth, so I could start it off.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start off with my sister-in-law's little story because she was the first person that contacted me directly because I forced her to do it. She didn't like willingly give up her story. No, I'm just kidding. So what I'm going to talk about now is when my sister-in-law was about 5 or 6 years old, she was at her great aunt's house, and in the archway of her backyard, it was like made out of ivy, those like little ivy archways. She was looking into the backyard and she saw an older man with a pitchfork and overalls, but he had absolutely no feet.
What?
Yeah. So she remembers seeing him. Like
Like Bratz doll feet or like cut off?
Like-
like they just weren't there or
like Brad's doll feet. He just had because it looks like, if it was like bone sticking out, that's what no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was
no,
like, oh
but
my
like
God.
when I think of Brad's doll feet, I think
Yeah.
of like if that was their ankles and
Their-
stuff.
their shit
No, but
poking
he
out.
just didn't have any feet. So like he obviously was an apparition because he
Yeah.
wasn't a complete figure. And yeah, and then so later on, so that's not the first time. About 2 years later, as she was at a different aunt's house, he appeared between her and her aunt going up the stairs.
Oh,
the exact
God,
same
no.
man. And she told me that she didn't feel like anxious. She didn't feel worried. She was more like, this fucking guy.
This is weird.
Like, she's like, what the fuck is he, why?
Yeah.
2 years later, this exact man appeared between her and her aunt going up the stairs at a different relative's house. So, and she never saw him ever again. That was it. That was the end of it. But, kind of like
weird.
a spooky little thing.
I kind of have a story like that too. I met up with my good friend Sarah last night. We've been friends since we were 6, and her dad's house actually is on the same street as me currently.
Oh.
And I used to go over there as like a kid, and so I remember the layout of the house. But she said some weird stuff would happen at the house.
No.
And she said one time, so when you walk through the front door, you can see all the way to the back door. And she said one time she was watching TV and she looked over and saw this woman with like really pretty like long brown hair and like a white Victorian dress. And she was just saying like she remembered how beautiful she was. And she said she never felt weird. She like looked at her and like kind of stared for a second and like turned her head back and continued watching TV as a kid. And she was telling the story to her sister Amanda recently. And she's like, shut up, you're fucking with me. And she's like, no, like, I'm not. She's like, did dad ever tell you? She's like, no. And her dad had the same, similar experience with that same woman. I think he left his wallet or his keys in his house, so he went to go turn back, and she was on his porch. Like, just there. But she wasn't, like, mean.
Like, on this road?
Yeah, on this road that we are currently on, down the street is where all this happened.
Oh, God, where those girls were riding their grandma's scooter.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, it's actually down. It was past Filer more.
Oh, further down
Yeah.
oh my hell. I'm all like, damn.
But yeah, so she told me that last night, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I've been in that house so many times. I never experienced anything weird at the house myself, though.
That's good, though. Damn, dog.
But I have another story. This one actually was emailed to us.
Ooh.
This was emailed to us by my pal Chelsea, who emailed the last spooky story that I said at the beginning of last episode about
From Reddit.
Ratata.
Reddita.
So she says, I just remembered stories about this house in Murtaugh that my mom lived in while she was pregnant with me after I was born. So I was born in 1991, so TV guides were very popular. Apparently the TV guide would always go missing. She lived alone and I was a newborn, so no one was there to misplace it. She always found it behind the couch. There was another time that she was listening to music or something and a cassette went flying off the TV stand that it was on.
Oh my God.
Once she was going to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, and in the mirror there were 2 red lights that looked like something's eyes, like they were like spacing and all. Turned on the light and there was nothing there. So last story about this house, she came home once with my aunt and me. The lights were on in the house and it looked like a figure was looking out the window. They called the police and the doors were locked and there was no forced entry.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she said, my mom is kind of intuitive and has always had like psychic premonition dreams as well. And she said, my roommate is also super intuitive. I was talking about y'all's first episode in the Idaho Penitentiary. She said she was grabbed by something there. Also, on our old house that we lived on 9th and Addison had some creepy shit. I, like Chloe, shut myself off to paranormal stuff because I scared. Fucking big same, though. Like, I'm always like, nope, don't do it. No.
I like force myself to try not to.
Like something moves. Like, I didn't see it. What are you talking about?
Now I have a story about like today.
Ooh, I wanna hear after.
Yes.
So that house was like 100 years old. It had a dirt basement with an old coal stove. I never went into the basement, but when she first moved in, her and her cousin saged the whole house, especially the basement. She was pregnant at the time, so she said aloud, "You can be here, but do not mess with my son." While saging the basement, they started smelling the strong scent of BO.
Now, what? That's the
yeah.
weirdest.
Bad smell.
Yeah,
there were times in the middle of the night that her and her partner would hear children's laughter in the living room.
Oh my God.
I was working graveyard shift at the time. There was also a time that she was home alone with the dog, cats, and baby, and she just found out that an old family friend had been found in the Boise River. Not
Oh
sure
my
if they
God.
found out exactly what happened, but it was a homicide. She was feeling sad about it and thinking about that person when there was a huge bang on the basement door, like from the inside. All the animals were freaking out and growling at the door, and she heard a voice that sounded like it said, "Help me."
No.
She had a ton more stories because she is super sensitive, intuitive empath. I'll have to have her email y'all or tell me. Hope this helps. Stay spoopy, Chelsea.
Hey, spoopy. Thanks, Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck that.
That spooks me out. I don't like that.
Any mirror stuff, I'm like, nope, can't do it.
No, I can't stand it. Okay, so I'm just weird. Like, again, my house. I've never had a horrible experience in my house, and I've never had anything scary happen.
Yeah.
Nor have I had anything that, like, would make me... I've been in this house for 23 and a half years. Like,
Yeah.
if something was going to happen, like, something is...
It would have already.
Yeah, I've got a lot of weird sensations. Like, I can't go to the basement at nighttime. Like, I throw my garbage down the stairs because I'm legit... Do you hear my stomach?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was fucking...
I didn't know if that was a creak because the chair I'm sitting in, I hope the listeners can't hear. It's like...
I know, I keep, like, moving on, like, the sofa and, like, just, like, because it's leather. It just,
Yeah,
like...
it's like...
I hope everybody can hear it. But, yeah, so I get, like, weird, like, eyes on my back feeling
Yeah, I get
in
that
the
too.
basement. Like, it freaks me out. And my brother just moved into a new house, and I, like, literally had to, like, sweep and steam all of their floors because they didn't clean before they moved. And I got to the basement, I was down there by myself, and they have, so they have, like, a cute, like, little bar and then, like, a pool, and then you walk into it, and then there's, like, another room and then another room. It's called the sauna room. It's where the water heater is.
Yeah.
And then it's got, like, a weird closet. I was steaming the room in front of it, so it's facing the wall, the room's behind me. And the whole fucking time, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I had to, like, really just keep myself, like, really focused. I'm like, I know there's nobody behind me and nothing bad's going to happen to me. But, like, their whole house, like, because it's brand new, I just, stuff like that freaks me out. New houses. But they're all good and stuff, and my family is all, like, really big believers, and so I believe that, you know, they'll be safe, and kids are pretty sensitive, and... But it's just that one room, dude. Like, you should see it. Like, the sauna room has, like, carpet in it, even. Like, I don't really understand how that works. But it's just, like, a bad room. So I'm going to tell some stories that my friend, Jessie Bick.
How do you... Okay.
Jessie Bick.
I was wondering, I was like, how do you pronounce that last name?
See, now I know this because we have some history. So he said he offers me a choice, but I'm going to read all three of them because why not? They're all
Hell yeah.
sleep paralysis stories. So the first story, he says, I woke up from a dead sleep due to a loud noise around 2 a.m., pitch black, couldn't move my limbs, my head, or my body without extreme effort. The only thing I saw in the darkness was two glowing red eyes at the foot of my bed staring at me.
What the fuck?
I blinked and instantly, there was a heavy weight on my chest.
Oh, God.
A white imp-looking demon was sitting there. He dug his claws into my flesh, leaned inches from my face, and whispered, "You can't do anything about this." Laughed maniacally and backed away slowly off the edge of my bed and disappeared.
What the fuck? Oh, my God, no.
Yeah.
God, my friend Sarah also told me a sleep paralysis story
Oh my
that I'm going to talk about after.
Fuck.
I hate sleep paralysis, dude. Shit's scary.
I never had anything like that. I just
You
couldn't
can-
move.
Yeah, you can get it, like, you have a more chances of getting it, I've heard, if you sleep on your back.
Oh, yeah. It's only when I sleep on my back.
Yeah.
I've never
I was sleeping on my
experienced-
back when I had mine, too.
And when I sleep in, like, a recliner,
Yeah.
because I have to sleep on my back in a recliner, because you can't sleep on your side.
Have you ever, like, done, like, lucid dreaming?
Oh, yeah. I
I-
love lucid dreaming. I can't say never, but I can hardly ever do it.
Yeah.
But when I do, it's fucking lit.
I actually figured out a way at one point. Jake was doing it, too, so I wrote a number on my hand, and I would check it during the day and look at the number. And then when I went to sleep that night, in my dream, I looked at my hand and it was a different number, and that's how I knew I was dreaming. And so I remember
That's
all I
fucking
did was get out of bed, walk to my bedroom door, and open it, and I woke up, and I was like, fucking pissed. Like,
You couldn't have been anywhere else. Fuck. Next time.
here's real life, fuck you.
Try again.
But continue.
Okay, so the second story that Jessie offers us is I had just moved into my current house in November of 2017. One night, I had fallen asleep on my couch watching TV. At around 11:30 p.m., I wake up terrified because I couldn't move my body in any way, shape, or form, laying there in darkness. Suddenly, my front door bursts open, and 2 men run into my house with guns and shoot me twice in the chest. I didn't feel or hear any of the gunshots, but I did see the muzzle flash. After shooting me, both men backed out of my house and closed the door behind them. Once they were gone, I could move again.
The fuck?
Fucking horrible. Like, no thank you. So, story number 3, which is our last story, is I brought home a new Australian Shepherd puppy.
Aww.
I kept her crate in the living room and would sleep there to keep her company at night for the first few months of her life. On one of these nights, I woke up at around 3 a.m. to her whining. As I was looking at her, I felt my body go numb, and instantly I felt terrified. In the darkness, I see a figure. I then hear him or her walk up to me, lean down to my ear, whisper, "I'll take care of your dog for you." Then grab and kiss my face.
The fuck?
figure then walked up to my dog's crate, lifted the blanket I had covering it, knelt down, and unhinged its jaw, sending out fire out of its mouth like a dragon, engulfing my dog in flames.
Oh my god, no!
What the fuck kind of shit? The figure then looked at me, winked, and vanished. After I blinked, I felt my body return to normal, so I checked on my dog and went back to bed. That's like a fucking low blow.
Yeah, so the one my friend Sarah was talking about, she said she was laying down in bed and like her bed was facing her door, like so her door's at like the foot of her bed.
Oh my god, why would you do that?
I don't know. But she woke up and she said she heard like it's like a bunch of people at like a conference table like mumbling, like she heard a bunch of people talking and some people like laughing and stuff.
That's ASMR to me.
Ugh, I hate it. And then like a tall like black figure opened her door and like started walking into her room.
Oh my god!
And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like fuck sleep paralysis.
Sarah, move your fucking bed.
She doesn't live in that house anymore, thankfully.
Don't fucking do it again.
Don't do that.
We met once at the bar. Don't ever do this again. You're better than that.
So now I'm gonna read a story from my pal Justice.
Oh, that one I didn't like sneak peek at.
Yeah, I'm curious. I didn't look at this one
Oh
either.
my god,
So
Justice, this is a surprise.
It's a surprise for both of us. So it says, I used to live in military housing set up for families whose parents were either on tour or in the military base itself. In the basement, we noticed a few things begin to happen. My father showed me a person's shadow begin to walk underneath a door. Christmas presents mysteriously disappeared and were never found again. We even had a blessed cross set up against the wall. When my father went to check in on it, he found it on the floor upside down. I had my own experiences with the entity itself. I woke up briefly, but refused to move because I had felt something watch over me.
Nope.
I could hear its breathing and itself lean over me. My father swore he saw a figure of a man near the window of my room. When he went to check out the house, no one was there. The entity took special interest in my mother. One of the first experiences came from her. She saw the shadow hover near her. Later on, it grabbed her butt down in the basement as she was doing laundry. God, can I just say, this entity is a thought. Needless to say, she wanted someone near her from then on. After a few months, we came to find out the people who lived in the house before dealt with voodoo.
Fucking A.
Dude, you don't mess with that shit. You really don't. Oh, man.
Shit, man.
I also have a story from my coworker as well. My coworker Kyla, she used to work at a bar in Hazelton.
Oh, there you go.
And she says everyone always joked around about a ghost named Harvey. She said Hazelton was founded in 1917, so it's like an old town.
It is.
There's a bank next door to the bar. When I'd have to close the bar down, all the lights would have to be shut off, and I would get an overwhelmingly creepy feeling as I was locking up. Almost everyone that attends the bar has a story about Harvey. Also in the bar, there's a dining area that is barely used except for larger parties and reservations. One night when I was working and getting ready to close up, I had about 6 people who were all sitting around the bar, but out of my peripheral, I saw a man standing in the dining room area. I turned to see who it was and even walked back there to double check, but nobody was there. I counted the people at the bar, and they were all still there, so I freaked out, of course. Since then, I would start making at least one person stay with me there while I closed up. A couple months later, me and my boyfriend did some research on the area and the bar, and we found out the man named Ben Lawley and his brother and another gentleman attempted to rob the bank next door in 1931. Ben was shot and seriously wounded by police on the scene. He made his way to the bar, which used to be a saloon and brothel.
Ooh.
He went upstairs to a prostitute's bedroom and died bleeding out on the floor. His family was of very little means and had no money to bring his body back, so Ben Lawley is buried in the Jerome Cemetery. And she sent me a picture of his grave.
Oh. Oh, my.
Yeah.
There he is, 1931. That's when it died.
Yeah, shit's crazy, dude.
That's fucking nuts. So do you think it's the same guy or what?
Yeah,
Harvey. How do you get that name?
I don't know. I think it's just like
They just name it. This
Yeah.
is your ghost name.
put a name to it.
So spooky.
They said. Yeah, and she says like everyone has stories about him too.
That's nuts, man.
I want to know. Did I already mention this? The bar that Jenica works at, Hometown, is evidently haunted. Like every night when they close.
Oh, did you mention that on here already?
I don't know. If
I can't remember either. Actually,
I might have just told someone else, but they leave a shot
No,
glass
you
of
did
water.
tell me because we were passing it.
Yeah,
because it was at the Pio, right?
No, it was at Hometown.
Oh, you literally just said that. Yeah, that's when we were gonna go visit Lida Southard, and we had the flowers.
They leave like a little shot glass full of water for this little girl, and I want to know what the fuck.
That's
what
nuts,
happened?
man. You know what? I bet Colton could find somebody who works at Hometown, or if he was here,
Yeah.
he'd be able to get the story out of it.
Because I asked Jenica, but she was kind of she's like, I actually don't know. So I'm like,
She didn't
oh.
know. Darn it! She didn't work there long enough then.
I know, like I would be asking all sorts of questions. I'd be like, so what's
Oh
what's
yeah,
the deal
I'd be
with that,
like,
homie?
so why are we doing this? I'm quitting today. Goodbye. This is my last day. So yeah, that would fucking freak me out.
Oh man.
So apparently where I work now is haunted. Fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
A little bit. My coworker confirmed with me that she was like, it's haunted, but like barely friendly ghosts and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so one of the locations, she told me that when she was closing at night, she could just feel eyes on her on the other side of the pool.
Yeah.
And then a lot at the other location, a lot of people can see the old owner like sweeping the sidewalks. Like have seen.
Okay, but like how pissed would you be if you died and in the afterlife you were still doing your job?
Oh, I think he loved it though. Like,
okay, well that's good then.
Like I think that it was like, I don't know. I haven't been there long enough to really know, but like I think that it was like
it meant a lot to him.
his jam.
Because I was like, okay, so if I died and I was open up jewelry cases at Hot Topic still, I'd be pissed.
Oh, I'd kill myself again.
Damn it.
Again, like I've already
Again.
killed myself. No, but speaking of, so the one location where my coworker had seen somebody like, well, not seen, but like felt somebody staring at her.
Yeah.
My car alarm went off, like unexpectedly, like it was weird. And then I walk out into the parking lot, and as soon as I like step out the front door, like it stops.
Huh.
And the cars that were like parked next to my car hadn't moved.
Yeah.
Since like they
So it
had
was just
gotten there,
going off.
and like we're talking like my car had sat there for hours, and nobody like walked past my car. Like you'd have to kind of go out of your way to like get to my car.
Don't
and
they
so I'm
start?
like,
Don't alarms generally start going off if you're like pushing the car and like really like
yeah,
manhandling
or
it?
I don't really know. Like it could have been like an electrical issue, but I just replaced the battery, and my car's fairly new, so
It is really new. Because I know one time at school I had my music really loud, and I pulled into the parking slot next to like this really nice Mercedes, and their alarm started going off. I think just because my music was really loud. 'Cause
That's
my
nuts.
car has a pretty decent bass, so I was like, "Fuck, okay."
Oh, that bass so
like
sick.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that was weird. And then in the same day, the door slammed shut. Like, slammed shut.
Well,
And so that was that was weird. And it hasn't done it since. And it's been breezy. So I don't know exactly what's happening with that. And then today, I was sitting in a chair, like, and the computer is, like, right over here, like, over my shoulder. and I was just like looking at my phone, looking at my bank statements and stuff, and then I can see like the pool and the lights are on and stuff.
Yeah.
And so out of the corner of my eye, something passes like by the computer. And it was enough to make me look. So I know that I didn't make it up because I like looked behind me because I thought somebody walked up like past like the computer, and I was the only person in the office.
Fuck that, dude.
And I was like, huh. So
This is it now.
There's like something to it.
Yeah.
I feel like there has to be at least a little bit. Maybe I'm just insane. And if any of my new coworkers end up listening to this, let me know because I'm curious.
Yeah, have them email us.
Tell me in person. I'll write it down.
Tell me their spooky shit.
I'm just curious. It's just nuts because I just, I don't know. I don't have paranormal things happen to me, and then I hear like stories, and again, I'm really shut off to it because I don't want to see it. But I believe in shadow people.
Okay, this is like the third time this week that I've talked about shadow people.
Fucking A.
And I was talking to Sarah about them last night because she's like, that's something that scares me. And I was like, yeah, I remember sitting in like the Sportsman's Warehouse parking lot at like 3 a.m. talking about shadow people with you and Amy.
Oh,
do you remember that? When we were playing Pokemon Go and we thought Marina Joyce like got kidnapped.
Fuck that bitch.
Fuck that bitch. Like, if you're on the internet a lot, you know. Like, I'm...
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
She pisses me off.
She, like, faked her own kidnapping. It was...
I don't even want to justify it. Don't talk about her anymore.
Yeah, no.
She's stupid.
But, yeah, I just remember, like, I think Amy brought it up, and she's like, yeah, those scare me. And I think we all just got, like, spooked. Cause
it was 3 fucking
3
a.m. and we were in my car, the only car in that fucking parking lot, trying to... What were we doing?
Go.
Were we at a gym? Was there a gym in the parking lot at that time?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking
there's
hell.
Oh my god. We had a lot of wild times playing Pokemon
It was a good time though.
Like there was that
Was
drunk
that the same?
chick.
That was the same night.
That was
That
the same night. There was a drunk chick at the roundabout, and we like offered to help her, and she screamed at me too.
Oh, she was really wasted though. She had a whole like 24 rack with her
of beer, and it was like falling all over the place, and she was falling all over the place. We eventually got the police, and she like hid in the bushes to try to evade them, but they took care of her.
She was not very quick,
and they were also really nice to us, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna look up some shadow people shit. Oh, hate that.
Why are you doing that?
Because I want to know more about it. Number of religions, legends, and belief systems describe shadowy spiritual beings or supernatural entities such as shades of the underworld.
Oh my god.
Fuck that.
That description.
Yeah, this is, scary. Yeah, I don't know, so they're just... There's a website called shadowpeople.org.
Fuck that.
I'm going to it. Oh my... There's pictures.
Savannah.
I can't do that.
Savannah Lee Teeter.
Turn it off. Delete it.
I want to see. I'm scared. I don't want to see it, but I want to see it. I'm like...
Can you be my filter?
Oh, fuck my whole ass, dude. Oh, it like makes me like... Oh, it like makes me like...
Oh,
it makes,
wait. Okay.
Makes my eyes water, dude.
Do you know about Dear David?
Fucking A. Yes.
Ah, dude, it's so scary.
No, we can't talk about it. It's Savannah. We can't talk about it.
Did you see the picture of him? I almost fucking hucked my phone.
I didn't believe that shit was fucking real, and I don't even know if it still is, but the whole story, like, shook me to my whole fucking core.
You know what? Are we gonna do, like, a little extend? Because we're only at...
We can do whatever we want, and here's the whole thing. We need more listener responses. We just need any creepy story that you might have had. Your sleep paralysis story, even something that you don't know to be completely fact. Let us know, because we like stories. We like urban legends. We like rumors. We're gossip girls, even. So your ex-boyfriend be fucking some bitch named Brittany, and he saw some spooky dick shit. I don't know. Like...
Man. But, so this guy is Adam Ellis, and he's like a really famous cartoonist, like, for BuzzFeed. Like, everyone's seen his stuff.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to show the cartoons to people I know, they'd immediately know who I'm talking about. His at is Moby_dickhead. So
Oh, I know who that is.
yeah, on Twitter.
That's really funny.
So he actually compiled all of them. I'm gonna talk about them. It's not letting me open. There
Dear
we go.
David.
Yeah,
Fuck you,
because this
Savannah.
story like actually scares me.
It scared the fucking piss out of me because anybody that's not familiar with it, as far as I remember, it was this guy tweeting about it, right?
Yeah, he was tweeting about it, and like, so
Oh my god.
I don't know if this is just some elaborate ruse or joke, but either way, it is horrifying. Like a work of fiction or a work of reality, it's horrifying. Like I don't want to be in this
lead
scenario.
on to it being like fake. Like honestly,
No, he has
like,
pictures to document the whole thing, and like,
oh my god, and a video because he's got like a
yeah,
like a
oh
little
my
like
God.
video surveillance in his apartment,
Yeah.
and he's got fucking cats. Like,
Yeah.
why does that matter?
So-
It just does.
So it starts off with, so my apartment is currently being haunted by the ghost of a dead child, and he's trying to kill me. He started appearing in dreams, but I think he's crossed over into the real world now. The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis. Go fucking figure.
God damn it, Savannah!
And-
I'm getting like chills.
We're doing
I
this.
don't like it. I'm
Beep
scared.
beep, buckle up, fuckers.
Oh my god! I
And
my
so-
feet off the ground.
Okay, me too.
God! God, get closer. Put your feet on the couch.
They can't get us up here.
They can only get on the floor.
The first time I saw him, I was experiencing sleep paralysis and saw a child sitting in the green rocking chair at the foot of my bed.
Oh my god.
He had a huge misshapen head that was dented on one side. And he said, I did my best to draw it. And so he drew like this sad little kid with like a dented head. For a while, he just stared at me, but then he got out of the chair and started shambling toward the bed. I couldn't move because I was paralyzed. I have sleep paralysis fairly often. It sucks. Right before he reached my bed, I woke up screaming. I had another dream a few nights later when I was at a library, and a girl came up to me and said, You've seen Dear David, haven't you?
No.
I was like, Who? And she said, Dear David, you saw him. She continued, He's dead. He only appears at midnight, and you can ask him 2 questions if you say, Dear David first.
No, I forgot about this part.
I know, it's like,
I
just all
forgot that
these
somebody
dreams.
else like had like a connection to it.
Well, it was a dream.
Oh,
Yeah.
god damn. Okay.
He was in like a dream library.
I like missed it. Okay.
God, I'd fucking freak out if that happened.
I would poop my whole pants and move out of my apartment with my cats like a
Yeah.
second later.
Then she added, but never try to ask him a 3rd question or he'll kill you. I was very shaken. Having 2 dreams about the same thing is pretty weird. Anyway, a couple weeks passed without incident. Then David came back in another dream. Same situation. I was in bed and he was sitting in the rocking chair near the window staring at me. In the dream, I said, Dear David, how did you die? He mumbles, an accident in a store. I say, Dear David, what happened in the store?
No.
He groans. A shelf was pushed on my head. I'm frozen with fear. I asked, who pushed the shelf?
No.
David doesn't answer. He
Idiot.
asked the 3rd question.
Idiot.
I realize that I've asked the 3rd question, which I'm not supposed to do. At this point, I wake up absolutely terrified. I got fucking chills right now, dog.
Fucking,
Like,
I'm telling you,
got the
as soon
goosebumps.
as you mentioned Dear David, my literal like body like started to like quiver. Like the hair is standing, and I'm a hairy fucking asshole. Like
So-
I have peach fuzz for days.
At my work Christmas party last year, I was like, "You guys know about Dear David? Buckle up!" And I told them everything, and
I
everyone
still
was
have to
like,
drive all the way the fuck home. Come on.
"Yeah." Everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
That just means I have to leave soon.
The next couple of days, I googled deaths in the city, but can't find anything about a kid named David dying in a store.
Oh,
I even tried different names: Daniel, Dylan, Devin. Nothing. A few weeks go by without incident. Sort of randomly, the apartment above mine is vacated, and I had the opportunity to move into it. It's a larger apartment, so I'm thrilled. Another month or 2 goes by, and I sort of forget about Dear David. I think he lost track of me because I moved upstairs. But lately, something strange is happening. For the past 4 nights, my cats gather at the front door at exactly midnight and just stare at it, almost like something is on the other side. And he's got the picture of cats.
I don't like it, Savannah. I don't want to see the cats. The pictures are literally what send me fucking through the roof.
I saw a picture of the kid. Did you ever get to that part?
I got to part 2 of fucking Dear David. Just vomit.
Last night I got a weird feeling and looked out the peephole, and I'm dead certain I saw movement on the other side.
I just hate this guy. Like, I hope he never, like, somehow stumbles upon us, and here I am being a fucking dickhead calling him an idiot. Like,
I haven't seen
why are you
anything
doing
lately, so
it?
he might have added to this. Maybe there's some closure here.
oh my god, no, I doubt it. He's probably dead. No, I'm kidding. He's not dead. He's been posting.
When I opened the door and turned on the hall light, nothing was there, but my cats seemed unnerved, bushy tails, etc. And that's where I am right now. Dear David found me. I think I don't know what I'll do. I'll keep you updated. And so he's updated it, and it says, update for the 6th night in a row. My cat has walked over to the door promptly at midnight and has stared at it. And it has a picture of the clock and the cat. And then he's got, like, some videos of, like, the cats being weird. And he said, okay, so I took a photo through the peephole because I'm too scared to open the door. I feel like I saw something. I couldn't tell, so I mustered the courage to open the door. Nothing was out there, but I took another photo and look at this. And it's kind of a stretch. It's, you zoom in and you kind of see, a face. I don't know.
Show me again. It's been a long time.
I wasn't sure if it was a smudge or something, so I took a second photo from the inside. There's definitely something out there.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't
really know because it's probably like an older building.
Yeah. So he deadbolted the lock and got into bed because he didn't know what else to do, and yeah, for real.
Like a ghost needs a fucking deadbolt, like that's gonna stop it.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm heading to bed, but the cats are back at the door. They only do this in the middle of the night. It's routine now. And he has like videos and pictures of his cats just being weird by the door, and so he put salt by the door to see if that would work. He's like, I used a sound app to record my apartment last night. It makes individual recordings each time it hears something. There were 33. Most of them are pretty vague, a couple of them passing cars and the like, but there are 3 I'm interested in. The first is a snapping sound and what seems like a single step. It's odd because I didn't get out of bed all night. And then it's weird because out of the 33 recordings, this is the only one that has a strange electric sound throughout. And then he has one, this directly follows the electric static, another snap, and then I groan in my sleep. So he has these linked to SoundCloud. I'm too afraid, I think.
Try it.
Oh, man. Ooh. At least it's daylight
Quit
still
fucking
here.
looking over because you're
Sorry.
making me... No, you're fine. I'm
No,
just
like,
ah!
my cat's little cat door is open, so I know she went out, so I'm, like, looking over there hoping she comes back because I miss her.
She'll protect.
She protect, but she also attack.
I don't know if she attacks. She's scared of a raccoon stuffed animal.
Oh, shit. I heard the snap. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Yeah, I heard the snap. I feel like that's kind of a reach too, but maybe that's just me.
I don't know, man.
I did stick it right up to the microphone, so while I'm editing, I might hear something horrifying. Who knows? These happened... Oh yeah, so I told you, but I'm going to tell our listeners. So when I was when I was editing the second episode, when Chloe and I were talking about the creepy house, and she was like, oh, the one on Jackson, it sounded like there was a whisper that said, that's my house. Like, that's my house. And so I immediately got really freaked out, took out the headphones, turned up the volume all the way, and made my boyfriend listen to it. And I was like, listen to this. What does it sound like to you? And he's like, that definitely sounds like someone saying something. And so we removed the noise gate, which gets rid of room noise and excess noise. And once we did that, we realized it was me just making this weird, like, noise. Like,
How the fuck does that sound like a fucking whisper?
I don't know, but the gate got rid of the lows, so it kept the highs, and so it just sounded bizarre. And
Dude, that shit just...
it's like, damn it, of
fucks
course it was
you.
me making, like, a weird burp or whatever
Oh,
the fuck.
God, look at me. Look at me, look at me, look at me. So weird. I, like, saw myself because, like, the sun through your, like, shades is, like, cutting me in
So you
pieces,
saw it in
and your
my
glasses freaks me out, dude. I'm just sensitive right now.
He bought a Polaroid camera and decided to take a few photos around the apartment. He took some pictures around of his apartment, and they, like, worked really well. The lighting was good. And then when he tried to take a picture in his hallway, it just turned out black. And so he, like, opened a full set of new ones, and I think he took, like, videos of him taking the pictures in the hallway to prove, like, hey, I'm not lying, you know. And they just
Right.
keep coming out completely black when he just took pictures all across his apartment and they turned out fine. But, like, the hallway light is on and everything, and he took a picture and nothing happened. Like, they're black. So that's weird. I have an Instax, and so do you. Like, that's weird, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
Um,
Well, I don't know. Polaroids are such a hard...
yeah,
Did he do
but
it through his peephole?
no, he did it in his hallway.
Oh,
Like, look, he took a picture of it with his phone and then with the Instax. Right? The hallway is pitch black.
That's
Like,
okay.
if the light's on,
Oh my
the
God,
light's on.
that made my foot numb for a second.
Ugh.
That I've been sitting cross-legged.
And so, this website just does not want to load for me.
Because he's...
So
Gonna
he's saging
get
his
us.
house, and he's saging the rocking chair because he still has the green rocking chair the kid appeared in. Of course,
I would fucking throw it away.
I would eat that shit.
Okay, I say I'd throw it away, but maybe I wouldn't. But I hope I would be smart enough to throw it away.
And he said he kept waking up feeling like something was wrong, but who knows? Maybe this will do something after the saging. And then the morning after, sage did not work. I haven't dreamed about David in a few months, but he appeared again last night. In the dream, my bedroom was filled with hazy smoke, but I could see David sitting in the chair across the room. He was smaller this time, almost shrunken. He didn't do or say anything except look at me. Anyway, it feels like a bad omen. So he thinks he pissed him off by trying to sage his house, which you go figure. So he said, I've been recording myself sleeping and it picks up this weird static electricity sound every night at 3 a.m. It lasts about 5 minutes. This morning I woke up to the whole house shaking. It felt like a small earthquake. I debated even mentioning that on Twitter because it sounds made up, but I distinctly felt the house swaying. It's just a whole bunch of small things happening at once. I feel so uneasy, like right before a thunderstorm comes. Everyone is telling me to move, but I don't have any guarantee that this won't follow me. Said, all this ghost stuff has been spooky, but this past weekend was the first time I actually felt unsafe in my own home. On Friday night, there was supposed to be a huge storm. In the end, it passed, but that night was bizarre anyway. I fell asleep pretty early. I was incredibly tired for some reason. I had a dream that night where David was dragging me by the arm through an old abandoned warehouse. I'm not sure why I didn't fight back in the dream or how he was strong enough to pull me, but that's dream logic for you. It was a creepy dream, but I didn't think much of it, and when I woke up, I took a shower and then I noticed something. I'd woken up with a huge bruise on my arm. Yeah, there's a bruise, maybe. I don't know. And it says, there could be a totally logical explanation for it, so I brushed it off. I went to get coffee, which I do every weekend. When I went to the coffee place, I always pass a food cart repair depot. It's always incredibly busy, especially on weekends. I've lived in the neighborhood for over 4 years, and the place has always been jam-packed with carts getting serviced. But today, it was completely abandoned. The whole warehouse was totally gutted and empty. Well, almost empty. I went inside to look around because I was astonished that this place was suddenly empty after all those years. Basically, the only thing in the entire warehouse was a single green chair.
Are you fucking kidding?
I wish I was, but there's a picture of it.
Show me.
It's a different kind of green chair, but the fact that it's still a green chair, I feel like is creepy as fuck. If you recall, David first appeared in my green rocking chair. It could be nothing, but it's weird that this is the only thing left behind.
I keep like forgetting that Jake is here and I hear wrestling in your bedroom and I'm
You're
all
like, oh, what the fuck?
I'm like, who's there?
On my way back from coffee, the warehouse has been shuttered. It remains shuttered ever since. The chair, my bruise, dreaming about an empty warehouse, and then passing by one, it gave me the creeps. Needless to say, I didn't sleep much that night. Too many strange things are happening, and more frequently. So I don't know. Anyway, it was a strange weekend. So this is actually all taking place a year ago. This is August 25th,
Oh my gosh, is that it?
No, like, it's still going. Like, there's still more to read.
No, I thought it was so much longer than that. Like, I feel like it was
No.
like years ago that I read the Dear David thing.
No, I remember catching up with it, like, just a few months ago. I go to his Twitter and I'm like, is any weird shit happened? And then he says, a few small developments have been happening, like different stuff happening. So if you recall, my cats usually gather at the door at midnight, but lately it's been getting earlier and earlier every night. I was almost used to routine, so when they started to cry at the door closer to 10 p.m., I was confused. They began a new routine. Hover around the door at 10 p.m., cry for about 15 minutes, then wander off as nothing's wrong. But this week, something else has been happening. Shortly after the usual cat stuff around 10:30 or so, I start getting phone calls from an unmarked number. My entire call history for the past week looks like this. You'll notice I answered once yesterday. And it's just a bunch of phone calls that just say no caller ID.
Fuck you, Jake. Oh my god.
His sneeze scared the crap out of you.
Oh my god. I don't even think he can hear me.
I don't think so either. He's got headphones in. Since then, this has been happening for days on end. I thought it might be an automated telemarketer or something. Usually, if it's an automated thing, if you answer once, they quit calling, so I picked up. Instead, what I heard on the other end was a very peculiar electric static sound, very familiar, the static app, or the static my sleep app picks up at night. I didn't say anything, I just listened, waiting for some automated message to chime in. After a minute, the static stopped and there was silence. I kept listening. I heard what I thought was breathing, and it was so faint I can't be sure. My heart was racing, so it was hard to hear. Then, as I was just about to hang up, I heard a very small voice whisper, hello. Something about the way they said hello freaked me out. It wasn't a question or a greeting. Just, hello, a flat statement, so quiet I could barely hear it. I panicked and hung up. I didn't know what else to do. I closed all the curtains in my apartment and turned on every single light. I watched TV until dawn because I was too scared to go to sleep. I sort of feel like I'm losing my mind. If I look at each individual incident on its own, there are perfectly logical explanations for everything. But after 3 weeks of weird shit happening, I don't know how to make sense of it all. The only thing I can do right now is write everything down, so that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'll keep doing. So, he moved the green chair out of his bedroom, which he should have done forever ago.
Yeah, you should have just thrown it away.
He's like, I should probably get rid of it, but I'm not sure that would have any effect.
Why would you just not? Like, what do you
have to
lose
lose
from getting rid of it?
No shit.
This boy's nuts. Don't.
No, all the dogs in my neighborhood are barking all at once. That's why I'm like, you guys, stop.
They all do that. They do that thing.
They're too loud.
They're like, oh, another dog is barking.
I'm going to bark and also say hello.
Woof woof.
He said, also, I'm going on vacation to Japan in 3 weeks, and I keep thinking that if I can make it to my trip, this will all end, as dumb as that sounds. David lost track of me once when I moved, so maybe if he believes I've left the apartment again, he'll leave me alone. Anyway, last week, I bought a pet monitoring camera so I can keep an eye on the cats while I'm overseas. It's basically a nanny cam that connects to Wi-Fi so you can check in whenever you want. It runs 24/7. It also alerts you to sound and movement via an app. I blacked out the company since I doubt they want to be associated with ghosts. In any event, I decided to test it out this weekend. I was away from home one night, so I set up the camera before I left.
Good night.
My phone pinged periodically through the evening, alerted me to the cats running around and playing normal stuff. Then around 11, it alerted me again that it detected motion, but when I checked the feed of my apartment, I didn't see anything. So I watched the feed again, still nothing. I watched it a third time and finally noticed something. So he has like this little... So I think the chair is actually rocking.
Show me.
The green chair. Hold on.
Oh. Is it a GIF?
It's a little video. Oh man, yeah. It's doing it. It's rocking. And he's like, I knew it couldn't be wind because I haven't had the windows open at all this summer.
You leave your window open when you are... Well, I guess depending on what floor you live on.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if maybe a cat jumped on it and jumped off, and that's when it decided to start recording. But it did look like it was still, then it started.
I don't know, man. And also, kitties jump off with lots of stupid fat force, so...
Yeah, so
all cats are fat.
It was still and just started moving.
Okay, so I'm not, surprised by any of this, but, I'm shocked again, because it just freaks me out. Because it's been a long time since I've read it, so I know about it. Yeah. But I forgot the deets.
And he's like, it was unnerving, but there wasn't anything I could do about it right then, so I flipped my phone off and tried not to panic. About half an hour later, I got another emotion alert. And if you missed it the first time like me, look at above the shelf. It's a little turtle shell that I hung on the wall. So, something
the turtle shell falls.
Yeah, something just falls off his wall.
I remember that one. That one freaked me out.
Yeah, so now we're in September of 2017. And he's like, that said, I feel really uneasy. I put the chair in the hall. And now it's September 5th, and he says it's happening again.
Wait, doesn't he live in an apartment?
Yeah.
So how can he just put that in the hallway without it,
Well, probably he probably has a hallway, in his apartment. Or maybe he put it in the hallway, hoping someone would take it.
Maybe. See,
But,
that's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. But he said it's happening again, and here he has another thread.
Nice.
So I've been leaving the nanny cam on 24/7. It records every time there's movement or sound, as you know.
Fuck
That's a
yeah,
big
dog.
one, dude. I was going over the feed from this weekend and noticed some weird stuff.
Oh my gosh.
During the night on Saturday, while I slept, it recorded the cats in the living room. It seemed pretty unremarkable at first. But then after a few moments, Maxwell freaks out and jumps over something invisible. I don't think it was a bug or anything. Maxwell doesn't react like that with bugs. He just eats them, but something spooked him. What's more, I almost never get bugs. I've seen maybe 3 in all the years I've lived there. Anyway, the next night, the camera recorded a couple more strange videos. Specifically, it recorded Maxwell doing this off and on for hours. And he's just sitting on his hind legs on the couch, like, looking around weird. But then the other one is, like, him on the ground. He, like, jumps over something, like, invisible. Like, he's like, this is odd behavior for him, and I can't come up with an explanation for it, especially because of the next video. Here's a vinyl video the camera recorded that night. And the cat's, like, sitting on the couch. And looks like it's seeing something. Like, it's standing up on its hind legs and, like, pawing in the air. And, like, looking around and being really weird. Oh, he's, like, trying to smack something. Oh, man. And he says it might be a chance it's a fly, but he never gets them, so...
Show me all your videos. That almost looks like something is holding his little body.
Yeah, something. Like, I don't know, he's trying to smack something, though.
Ooh, I don't like it.
And he says he just can't shake the feeling that something has made its way into his apartment. And then now he's talking about he's been having nightmares again. This is September 16th of 2017.
Ah!
He says, they're way more intense than usual dreams, too. I don't know if it's because I'm stressed or if it's something else. This afternoon, I took a nap and had a dream I haven't been able to shake. In the dream, I was lying in bed and rolled over to face the other direction. On the pillow next to me was a severed head with a bloody spine attached, snaking down the bed. The head was staring at me, somehow still alive. It had this huge smile plastered on its face. Horrified, I screamed, "What happened to you?" The head smiled even bigger. "It feels great," the head groaned. After that, I woke up. It was dark outside by then. Everything was quiet. Other dreams have been just as strange. Things like dark figures staring in my windows, even though I live on the 2nd floor. Fuck that, dude. Stuff that makes no sense in relation to what I've been experiencing in real life. After that dream about the head, I've been feeling uneasy all night. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I decided to go for a walk, if for no other reason than to get out of my apartment. I went to a bodega a few blocks down to get a snack. On the way, I had to pass a warehouse that was boarded up a few weeks ago. It's usually on the way to everything. I pass it twice a day just to get to the subway. I hurried past it since it freaks me out now. At the bodega, I got some Doritos and a seltzer, then made my way back home. When I passed the warehouse a second time, I heard a dull thunk from the other side of the shutters. I froze in place, but there was no other sound after that. I probably should have just continued on, but curiosity got the better of me. There was a grated window next to the doors There was a grated window next to the doors about a foot above my head, too high to see into. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to hold my phone up to the window, take one photo, then run for my life. I made sure my flash was on, positioned my camera lens through the grates, and snapped a photo. I almost thought I saw movement when the flash went off, but I couldn't be certain. The light bounced off the grates and was pretty blinding. I couldn't even look at the photo. I just ran all the way home. I was too jumpy to look at it for a while. I just ate my Doritos nervously. When I finally did look at the photo, here's what I saw. It seemed to be like a different part of the warehouse, maybe just an office. There was a bunch of old insulation and what looked like a filing cabinet and a ripped-up leather desk chair. So just like a bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, nothing scary.
There's a bunch of old insulation. Then I noticed something else. In the upper right corner, something that looked like a face. The more I stared at it, the more I started to look like a nondescript blur. Now I can't even be sure what I'm seeing.
Does it show like a more like...
Yeah, it shows it. Oh, I want to throw up. Maybe I'm too deep into this and my brain wants to see David when he's not there. It's like the eyes up.
No.
Fuck that.
I'm like,
He's getting ready to leave for Japan.
Doesn't he leave?
Yeah, so he leaves to Japan for a few weeks. And he actually sees a statue in the park of like... It's like a bunch of people like molded together.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he sees a part of it with like this little baby with a dented head, and he immediately like starts panicking in Japan.
Good Lord.
Yeah, fuck that. Now he's home. This is in October now. So weird things have been happening with the electricity. First 2 bulbs have burned out in the hallway in less than a week, and at this point, I've just left it alone rather than get a ladder again. But the strangest thing has to do with the backlight on my TV. It's an LED strip that plugs into the TV itself via USB.
Oh, yeah.
The TV has to be on in order for the backlight to be on, but last night the backlight was flickering on and off by itself. I noticed it sometime just before dawn when I woke up and went to the kitchen to get some water. I'd barely gotten back to bed again when I saw a faint light coming on in the living room. After a few seconds, it went dark again. I went back into the living room and stood there watching the backlight go on and off and on and off for the past few minutes. It was bizarre. Eventually it stopped, and now the backlight doesn't work at all. It's only a couple months old, so it shouldn't be dead already. Anyway, I couldn't go back to sleep, so I went to the diner nearby my apartment. It was the only thing open at 4 a.m. Yeah, he does take a picture of his people again because he thought he heard like a faint scratching, but it doesn't look like there's anything
Okay.
in the people, at least to me. So he did have a friend come over and cleanse the place. I guess he got approached by like TV shows and Ghost Hunter and mediums and all that shit, but he like turned him away because he didn't want to bring that into it, and I guess I understand. He said things appeared to go back to normal. The cats weren't gathering at the door anymore, and I stopped having dreams. It was starting to seem like it was over. Then one morning last week, I was walking to work and passed the shuttered warehouse as usual. This time, all the metal doors were wide open, sunlight pouring in. The warehouse was still mostly empty except for one thing. Then there was a hearse parked near the back wall. The warehouse has been closed for over 2 months, and I had no idea why it was open that day. No one was around. It was weird, but I tried not to think about it. It was not all that strange to see a hearse, I guess, but to leave it. But they had to, like, park it somewhere. So, something else happened last night. It was around 11 or so, and I was watching TV on the couch. I went to the dining room to get a drink from the fridge and noticed both the cats sitting by the far window staring up at it. The window looks out onto the roof of the business next door. I glanced out the window but didn't see anything. I figured that maybe there was a mouse in the wall or something. I shrugged and grabbed a beer from the fridge. As I went to the window to get the bottle opener, I noticed something. There's a window in the kitchen which looks out onto the same roof, and someone was standing on the roof staring at me. I immediately ducked down. I reached up and flicked on the light switch. I peered over the window, but still couldn't see much. The phone was in my pocket, so I grabbed it and took a photo. It was blurry and dark, but I swear someone was out there.
Is there a picture?
There is, but I don't see anything.
Okay.
But, yeah, he's like, I closed all the blinds and made sure the door was locked and then drank like 5 more beers until I was too drunk to be scared.
Why does it solve anything?
So now we're in November, and he's like, it's been about 4 months since the first time I dreamed of David. This might be long, but stick with me. Last night, I dreamed about him again. It was almost exactly the same time as I had first saw him. In the dream, I saw him in a chair again. I don't have the green chair in my room anymore. This time, it was the recliner I've had for years. He was staring right at me, just like the first time. Again, I felt paralyzed and could barely move, but this time, something was different. I still felt mostly immobile, but I could squirm a little bit. I felt more alert. I could move my hands somewhat. David glared at me, and I dreaded what I knew was coming. He was going to get out of the chair and come toward me like before. I had to do something. I kept my phone next to me in the bed and somehow managed to get a hold of it. This is the part that fucks me up.
Yeah,
I could not look at this picture. I thought, if David is going to kill me, maybe I can at least get evidence on my phone. I started snapping pictures in the dark. I thought sure enough, he crawled down off the chair and began shuffling toward me. He moved slowly, like it was a struggle for him. I felt terrified, but I kept taking photos. David limped closer toward me, never taking his eyes off me. Soon I was face to face with him. He started muttering something too quiet for me to understand. I watched as his eyes rolled back in his head until they were white. I tried to writhe away from him, but I could barely move, and I stared in horror as he began crawling up onto my bed, still murmuring something. And that's when I woke up. Same as before, broad daylight, no trace of David anywhere. It's almost routine now, but it was a dream after all, so I got up and went to work, and after all the while, the stress of the dream melted away. I wasn't even going to write about this, since it wouldn't be really any new information, but tonight I noticed something that petrified me. I went into my phone to find a picture from a couple days ago and saw dozens of pitch black photos in my camera roll, all from last night. I can't even look at these. They made me like, no, I can't do it.
Let me see.
Okay, scroll up. I'm too afraid.
Fucking.
It's his little body in the fucking chair, Chloe.
Oh, fucking. It looks just like a little kid. So, like, it doesn't, like, super freak me out because it just looks like a child. Its head's, like, almost too big, though.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's an oversized head and it's, like, dented.
Fucking nut.
Fuck that shit, I'm
Okay.
out.
Now it's safe.
Yeah, so that was the part where I had to just chuck my phone. I was like, I can't do this right now.
I remember them being a lot more menacing looking.
Yeah, I just...
Oh, man. Your brain, like, warps your memories so bad.
Yeah, but seeing a child, I might look at it. Oh, fuck. Okay, I looked at the last one. I can't do it.
It just looks like a little kid.
Little kids are scary, Chloe.
But it looks like a little kid with, like, a fucked up hairdo. Like, it doesn't really look like... You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. It's just... Oh. And,
Is there any more stories to it?
yeah, so he's actually... I think... So he ends up finding, a crawl space in his apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I forgot
Yup.
about that.
And then he, finds a shoe and he like draws up the layout of his apartment so he can like understand. But so he bought a really long pole on Amazon so he could like push it open because he'd been hearing noises up there and like weird shit. And so then he found a shoe, I'm pretty sure. And then what else did he find? Like a really old marble. Yeah, so he found like an old children's shoe. And then he found an old marble, and he figured out that because there was a little bump on the marble, that apparently it was made in the early 1900s because marbles were made by hand and they cut them with big metal scissors. I actually haven't gotten farther than that, actually. That's as far as I went because that was December of last year and I haven't checked on it since.
Oh my god, have you not?
But he downloaded an app that takes a photo every 60 seconds and he set his phone on top of a bookcase. That's a good idea. Just like before, I jolted awake hours later, feeling the same unease. I turned on the light and hurried out of my bed to get my phone from the bookcase. There are probably 350 photos to scroll through. Vast majority of them were me sleeping in an empty room. It's sort of dark, but you can see me sleeping. I left a couple night lights on just in case anything showed up. But for the first 100 or so photos, it was just me in my empty room. Then suddenly, here he was, standing on the chair at the foot of my bed, staring at me. I'm too afraid to look. Is it this one?
I don't know. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
Oh, no. Sorry, the dog's next door just going fucking nuts.
Fuck, dude.
No, is it there?
Yeah.
No! No!
Yeah, it's like not there and then it's like there. Do you want to look at it?
I'm too afraid to look at it.
Do you want to look at it?
No, I can't
It's
do it.
okay. Oh no, it casts a shadow.
I'm too afraid to look, dude.
Oh my god!
You know what that scream sounded like?
That was like, you have to keep that. Like, that was pure terror, dude. Fuck.
Dude, that scream sounded like Fred. Do you remember Fred, the YouTuber?
Oh,
It
yeah.
sounded like him. It's like the neighborhood squirrels. I'm
Fucking
so...
hate Fred. My name's
Oh,
Fred.
okay, I looked at it. Oh, no. I'm so...
Holy shit.
Oh, fuck.
That was the most, like, that was genuine. That was genuine fear. Twice. I like your pumpkin face. Oh my god. I love that. I forget. Oh, there's more?
Yes.
There's more? Oh no, I went to your Tumblr. No, I didn't. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I scrolled down a bunch.
Oh my god. Wait, what's he
I'm
doing?
I'm too afraid to look.
Fucking A.
Oh my god, is there so many of them?
Oh my gosh. It's like he's looking and then he's like turned his back to him.
Oh man.
Oh wait, what does he say? She's like, in the next photo from a minute later, he seems to be staring straight up at the ceiling. Just staring. He appears to collapse on the chair. The next dozen photos are all the same. He's completely lifeless. At first, I thought he was dead, which obviously doesn't make any sense. I looked over at the chair, half expecting him to still be there, but it was empty.
Oh, yeah, I can't do pictures. I can do creepy words, but the minute there's pictures of a child standing in your room, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Oh my god. So, but then in the next photo, he's gone. The room is totally empty again. He's gone in the next several photos too. I figured maybe that was it, but I kept swiping through the photos.
Oh.
About 15 photos later, he was back. Standing next to the bed. It was just like the last time I saw him. I'm like afraid to just go any further. Wait, hold on.
I want to know if there's a resolution to the story. Because it's been a year since all this started. So is it still happening or has anything gotten better?
God, that scared me. I was not ready for that.
Sorry.
I'm having a hard time because I can see that there's something different in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look like anything. It looks just like something different in the picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. There it is.
Your eyes get all wide.
I'm all like, oh, now I can see he's like looking at him. So that's when my heart started to race. I didn't want to look at the rest of the photos, but I knew I had to. I swiped to the next photo. My heart sank in my stomach. It was scrolled really quick. Holy shit. This is making my like head like...
Oh no, what's the
ache.
picture? Describe it.
He was on my bed. Inches away from me, staring down at me, sleeping. Do you want to see it? Do you want to see it? Do you want...
Baby, I'm so scared. I can't do it.
Oh, man. The next one was worse. And the next photo, he's staring right at the camera.
Oh, man.
My arm's like going numb. I'm getting so anxious, dude. After that, there's seemingly nothing. He disappears again, and the rest of the scroll is just me alone in my room again. That's it, until the last photo. I'm not ready. I can't.
Oh, man. Okay.
Like, I just don't want to.
Let's
like,
do this together. I'll look at it, too.
Is this like a hoax, and this is where they're just like, ha, fuck you, got you.
I hope it's a hoax at this point, because...
I can't.
Oh, what is it? What is that?
I just fucking can't. I saw it, but it like makes me like
yeah,
ache.
it makes me sick. My phone's open on the
Here's
table and
the
neither
photo
of us will look at it.
on the scroll. I just don't want to go.
Ignorance is bliss. If I can look at it and immediately erase my memory if I know it's too salty.
I'm at a loss for words. That malformed ear, that stringy hair. I didn't even know what to think. I looked all over my room and couldn't find anything. And honestly, I've been so exhausted, I don't know how to process it. Even now, all I want to do is just go to sleep. Okay. So then we get December 20th of 2017. Hey everyone, I'll be gone for the next week visiting family back home in Montana for the holidays. It'll be nice to get away from all of this for a bit. Thanks for everyone's kind words lately. I'll see you when I get back. Oh my god. And then, so we're not done.
So was that last picture just him sitting on the bed? That's what it was?
No. It was him like up near the camera and you could see like...
Oh, man.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. So I don't like that. So why wouldn't you just move?
Because I think he's afraid it'll follow him.
Why would you be afraid of it following you? Like, what do you have to lose?
I hate that I have a sick, like, curiosity. I want to see the picture, but I know if I do, it will ruin my life.
Do you want to? I don't know. I don't want to ruin your life. I love you.
I'm so afraid.
It's not a huge deal.
Oh, I'm so scared. Okay, so there are two things I'm afraid of. Aliens and this child.
Do you want to or no?
I don't know. I think you're braver than me. I can't do it.
I don't know if I'm braver than you, dude, but it's whatever. I guess I'll just finish this out because things are getting way crazier.
Oh, man.
Well, it just seems like it at least. Okay, so now we're on to January 2nd, 2018. So I've been, okay, and he posts, so I've been away from the city for a couple weeks. And so then he posts, I went home to Montana for the holidays and almost immediately started to feel better. Less tired, less foggy. Up until now, I haven't really entertained the thought of moving and thinking that David would probably follow me wherever I go.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left for Montana, everything seemed to improve. Like maybe David wouldn't follow me after all. Maybe he was tied to the house, not me. Being home felt safer and I managed to relax a little bit. That's nice.
I'm happy for him.
But
Oh no.
it just, well, I mean, he keeps writing, so I'm assuming that this shit just goes on. I even started browsing lists for new apartments back in New York. The last thing I want to do is move in the middle of winter, but after the past few months, it seems like it might be worth it. It felt like there might be a way out. But after a few days, I started to feel strange again. One night, I got up to go to the bathroom, and as I stood there in the dark, I couldn't help but feeling that there was something moving outside the bathroom window.
No. Oh my god, this poor guy.
Get the fuck out of my face.
He just can't get a break.
The bathroom looks out into the backyard, and it was pitch black. I could barely see anything, but it's Montana, and there are animals passing through all of the time. Sure enough, in the morning, I found animal tracks through the snow. I didn't know the specific animal. Elk, deer, and then he's got a picture. Like, not really a big deal.
Sounds about right. Montana's got the same stuff going on that we do.
Pretty much, yeah. The next night, the same thing happened. I got up in the middle of the night and thought I saw movement in the blackness outside. This time, I stood at the window and gazed out, straining my eyes to see, waiting for them to adjust to the night. For a long time, I stared out into the snowy darkness, but couldn't see any movement. Then, just as I was about to turn away, I saw something lurch off to the right and disappear from view. Dude, I'm like getting hot. Like, I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, I want this to have a good ending, and I'm so afraid it's not going to. But this is December of just this last year, so maybe.
This is January of this year.
Dude, that's really sad, because it started August of last year.
This is 7 months ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
So,
okay.
Again, it was too dark to make out the animal, but it couldn't have been anything. Maybe a coyote or something. Mm-hmm. So, in the morning, as I was getting out of the shower, I glanced out the window and noticed tracks behind the garage.
Oh, no.
I couldn't tell what they were from the bathroom, so I got dressed, put on my coat, and went outside. When I got up close, my heart practically stopped. They weren't tracks, they were footprints. Really small footprints.
No, bitch, what the fuck?
I don't ever see this kind of emotion on you ever, and I love it. I followed them across the backyard, but they disappeared into a ditch out back. I stood there in the snow, not knowing what to do. What could I do? Call the cops? Tell them I found footprints in the snow?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that. You could, but you shouldn't.
There's a kid stalking me.
He's dead.
He's dead, though, but I don't know what to do.
The last couple of nights, I was too scared to leave my room. If it had been David out there in the snow, it meant that he could follow me anywhere. No matter where I moved, he could find me. I felt helpless. I flew back to New York the day after Christmas. Back in my apartment, it seemed like I was at square one yet again. I tried everything I can think of. I've saged my apartment. I've hired a medium. Nothing has worked. And worse, I still feel him at night, watching me from different corners of my room, always getting closer and waking up right before something happens. Fucking hate this story. For the past few nights, I've been using that app that takes photos every couple of minutes, but nothing has shown up. For whatever reason, it doesn't seem to work anymore, but I've left it running just in case. It's picked up absolutely nothing, save for one thing from last night. I just can't, dude. I have to almost be done because it's giving me such bad anxiety that I feel like...
Imagine being the person in that situation.
I don't know what I would do. I would get cleansed.
I am so thankful that I have a house where I don't feel creeped out in.
Oh my god.
Are you looking at it?
For the past few nights... Okay. I'm really confused. Oh, I accidentally skipped it. No, I didn't. He skipped one. Last night was particularly bad. I felt sick and had nightmares all night. I dreamed that David was hovering in the corner by the ceiling far off the ground. He was mouthing something, but I couldn't hear any words. Then he was hovering above my bed, staring down at me, his mouth moving faster than it should be. I couldn't move. I could only look up at him. Suddenly, he plummeted downward, and I felt this huge pressure crash into my chest. I woke up gasping, the wind completely knocked out of me. I sat up and looked around frantically, heaving for air, but there was nothing. Oh my god.
Is it a picture?
Yeah.
No, what is it of? Describe it for our viewers and for me, because I'm afraid.
Fuck you, I'm not describing it. No, I'm just kidding. When I caught my breath, I retrieved my phone from the dresser. The photo roll showed nothing of note, save for the last photo taken just moments before. It's really not that bad. It's really just not. It's more like a blurred photo of like a child. You can really tell the hand.
God, yeah, what the fuck?
But he almost looks like he's wearing like a really like cool like...
Okay, so plot twist, he's
sweater.
playing like this elaborate ruse, and he just got this weird baby doll at like some thrift store, and he's like, you know, it'd be funny if I did this.
Well, his Twitter name is Moby Dickhead, so... And then he posts, I don't know what to do. I'm at a loss here. I just don't know. And then... post again on January 16th. Sorry for the long delay. Honestly, I wasn't sure I was going to tweet again. After what happened a couple weeks ago, everything stopped. Well, sort of. I wasn't having dreams anymore, and I was feeling better. I was sleeping through the night again. Actually, I was feeling great. I still do. But things have been sort of weird too. It's hard to explain. I'll try, but I don't know if any of it makes sense. Basically, as good as things have been for the past couple weeks, I can't shake the feeling that something is off. Like, I've been sleeping fine and having lots of energy during the day, but sometimes I seem to sort of lose time, I guess. Like, I'll look up at the clock and realize a whole hour has gone by and don't remember any of it. Or I'll mishear someone and ask them to repeat what they said, but they'll say they didn't say anything. Like, little stuff like that. But after what I've been through, it's not a big deal. Despite all that, I felt ready to put it all behind me. So on Sunday, I opened Twitter intending to update you all that it was over, and at least I thought so.
Oh, man.
I just want things to go back to the way they were, and it seemed like they had. I was writing something to that effect when I noticed I had way more notifications than usual. I swiped to my mentions, not my notifications, and saw that everyone was tweeting to me about something I'd posted on my Instagram story the day before, saying they saw something weird. The stories are expired now, but I have screenshots and I don't know how to explain it. Long story short, I went to brunch on Saturday with a friend. I posted a few photos to my story, and they were fairly unremarkable. Here's the first two I posted, totally dumb and normal, and it's just like they're...
pictures of him and his friend and
yeah,
brunch.
they're like their brunch and stuff,
Yeah.
like no biggie.
Mm-hmm.
And they're totally boring brunch photos. I posted one more photo of me and my friend before leaving, and that was that. But the next day, I had a zillion messages about the third photo I posted. People had taken screenshots and sent them to me.
I want to see it. The twinkle in his eye. It's David.
Oh my gosh. This is what somehow got uploaded to my Instagram story.
You have a big look of concern on your face.
And I'm just like trying to figure it out.
Okay, I wouldn't read into that so much because do you know how glitchy Instagram is? You know how you can do posts on Instagram where you like can have multiple pictures in a post?
Yeah.
And you like swipe and stuff? So my Instagram is set up so that whatever photos I post on Instagram, it saves them in a separate album on my phone.
Oh.
And this kind of thing happens a lot. So I wouldn't read into this like too much, but...
Okay.
And he was saying, this is... yeah, I had no clue what happened. It looked perfectly fine on my phone when I uploaded it. I'd say it's just a glitch, but I can't make sense of what's happening with my face. Yeah, it looks like he's got like a weird eye.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like a child's eye by any means.
It's a big eye.
Yeah.
I have no clue what happened, or maybe I can. I know what it looks like, what it probably is, but I don't know if I care anymore. I really just want things to be normal again, and things feel normal enough right now. I don't know. I guess I'll keep you updated if anything else happens. And he's like, posted a video on January 28th. I'm kind of afraid to watch it because he doesn't have any words. And then February 3rd, he posts, everything is fine. February 14th, please don't worry about me. I'm okay and everything will be like it was before with a smiley face. And then posts another video. For everyone, and then this is in March. For everyone asking if I'm alive, I'm doing okay. It's been pretty quiet around here lately and I've been trying to focus on work. Of course, I'll keep you updated if anything strange happens, but for now, I'm staying busy with drawing and other projects. And that was the last post in this archive, and it was March 12th of 2018. Oh, he actually posted recently on the 11th of August, sharing his first tweet and said, I didn't realize it's been a year since this all started. It seemed like yesterday. Oh my god, people have done David fan art. So here he is. so for our audio listeners... Okay, so he wrote, y'all need Jesus, and it's a picture of him, Adam, like the sharp looking dude, and he's like anime style, holding like little Dear David on his lap, also anime style. Yeah, people are just drawing them.
Holy shit. Is there more like anime style drawings?
Yeah, so there's this
Dude,
one.
get the fuck out of my face with that shit.
And there's like this Pokemon looking one.
No, that is so bad.
This one's not in English, so I can't read what it says, but
oh fuck.
he's like, y'all need Jesus.
Oh my gosh. Maybe this whole thing's gotten out of control and he's reeling it back in. Like, oh, it's fine.
It's fine. Oh, what the fuck? He said, some Dear David news. Dan Lin, who's the producer of It, will be producing a Dear David film.
No.
With screenwriter Mike Van Ways, who wrote, he's the writer of The Conjuring spinoff and The Crooked Man. So there's going to be a movie of it?
That's nuts, dude.
And someone commented, oh, everything was marketing. And he responded, you act like they don't make movies about real events all the time. My haunting went viral and they decided to make a movie. Pretty simple.
Dude.
Well, so it seems like he's doing,
okay.
Yeah. So I guess that actually kind of had a good ending. I don't know.
I don't think it's over. Like,
No,
I don't think it's over.
Until we know. Like, he might tweet in a month and be like, just kidding, motherfuckers.
I fucking can't, dude. Stuff like that doesn't just stop.
I don't know.
Maybe David's on vacation. Maybe he's like, I'm going to Montana.
Maybe he was
I liked
like,
it there.
He's like, you know what? I just heard about fidget spinners, so I'm just gonna bounce. Like, this kind of sucks. You know, messing with you is fun and all, but
It's being recorded at this point, and none of this is fun.
I'm gonna go play some Minecraft.
I'm gonna go play some fucking Minecraft. He's like, that's a thing now.
A yeet.
Yeet.
Or what about Fortnite?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, kitty.
Oh, fucking yikes. Hi, kitty. She just fucking swerved me.
So, I recommend for all of our listeners, if you're into some spooky shit, to check out the Dear David thread on
There's
Adam Ellis's Twitter.
tons of pictures.
And there's some good fan art. Like, I love the anime fan art. She's just rubbing up against me.
She just is fucking not interested. Hi, Katie. She doesn't even want me to touch her. What do I smell like? Bad? She's like, you smell like pool.
Let's put her on the table.
Yeah.
The podcast we run around here.
Put cats on the table. This one. Because hers good. She didn't like it, dude. She's not interested in anything that I have to offer.
Can I get a little meow meow meow?
Okay. Should we wrap it up?
Yeah, so... Oh, man. That really brings out my inner primal fear.
Yeah, it freaked me the fuck out. Like, it made me so anxious that my head, like, went numb.
Yeah, I can't. Like, when I would look at those pictures, I could feel my stomach drop. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They're really intense. So if you haven't ever seen those pictures, you just need to
Look 'em up.
do it. Just Google Dear David, and it'll take you to the thread, and then maybe some really, like, sick anime fan art, because there's a lot of that shit floating around.
now I'm like, if any of our viewers, I was going to make a joke, if any of our viewers want to draw an anime Dear David in my living room.
No! Mm-mm.
Don't do that. I'm going to cut that out so no one does.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm like, just... yeah. Okay. Okay, and then that's it. Thanks for
Bye,
listening
bitches.
and shit, bye bitches. Thanks for listening.
And tune in next time and send in all your stories or
Please send us your stories.
other cool things to our email or our DMs or our BMs.
Especially our BMs.
Our BMs.
We have those every day habitually.
BMs and urine. All right. So I'll see you guys later. So, bye.
Bye.